So I'm going to interrupt my female fitness myths 1 month, now going on 3 months topic, and go a little deeper into mobilizing above and below. So this is a strategy that I use that I've developed, well, I've developed over 25 years or thereabouts of training, that is really just a tweak. So if you have an exercise that you just flat out don't do because it hurts your knee or it hurts your back, this is a strategy that may get you moving again, because, you know, we've talked a lot over the past few years talking about women's health. We've talked a lot about lifting and how important lifting is for women. But at the end of the day, so many of us have back pain and knee pain. It is not funny. So this strategy, the mobilize above and below, is a really useful way to take pain or to take pressure off an inflamed region, especially if it's inflamed because it's short, tight. Okay, so this strategy will not work for everyone. It is not a catch-all. It is not going to fix all your problems, but it should improve your problems for a lot of you anyway, and it should also promote healing and help with healing if you have something acute going on. So let's go a little deeper. So when we're training, so let's take my example, okay? I get low back pain and I do have a bulging disc in my low back. However, only 50% of people with my injury report pain. There are 50% of people who don't have pain with this injury. So when I do a front squat, okay, this aggravates me like nothing else, which I'm sure you can see is bloody glorious when I had babies, right? My back was in a constant state of inflammation. It hurt a ton. So what a good trainer will do, rather than saying don't squat, they'll tweak it. So they'll change where the weight is. Okay, I don't like this, but I can tell you this is fine. Okay, changing where the weight is fine, and that's more weight. This is changing where the load is. Back squatting, having it on my back instead, no pain at all, right? And I can keep squatting. So that discovery process is a series of questions and responses. I say, my client says to me, or I say to my trainer, I bloody hate the front load. It hurts my back. I'm sore. And the trainer says, right, well, if I move the weight to your back, how does it feel? Does the pain change? Is it better, worse, the same? If I move the weight down here, how does it feel? If I change your foot angle, how does it feel? So mobilizing above and below is just a different strategy to get this, to get a better result and allow you or your clients to keep training, to keep squatting, to keep deadlifting, all the things that people say hurt their back. So the other strategy would be squatting hurts my low back, right? The other strategy is to mobilize above and below. And this is the system with which you do it. You get the client to squat, okay? Or you squat. You do the thing that you hate. All right. How does it feel? Where's the pain? Describe the pain to me. Does it change if you go a little lower? Right? Then you mobilize above. So I report pain in my low back in that sort of movement. So we would mobilize the thoracic. That's above where I'm sore. So the simple way to mobilize is to choose one thing to move and then move it in 3 directions. So I choose to move my hands, and I'm going to move my hands forward and backwards. See how my back moves? I'm going to move my hands left to right. See how my back moves too? And then I'm going to move my hands side to side. See how my back moves too? Then we repeat the squat, and we say, how does it feel? Still bloody hate it. But someone else will go, oh, that's amazing, right? If it's still sore, we mobilize below. So if it's low back, I'd be going deep hip rotators, but there's no right or wrong. So I'm going to choose to move my leg. So forward back would be like a hip stretch, the front and back of it. I'm trying not to move my arms, but this is just my thing, moving the arms. And then left to right would be, say, inner thigh, and then glute. And then circles would look something like this. Those of you who are training at the NTU gym, a lot of these are going to be familiar. All right, we'd repeat it on both sides. Back to the squat. How does it feel? I can tell you it feels really lopsided because I only released one side. I only mobilized one side of my hip. So that's the strategy. So the next example would be, well, my dad, when we were hiking on the weekend, got quite acute plantar fasciitis pain. Okay, so what is above and below the plantar fascia? Your toes and your ankle. Okay, so if we're to mobilize the toes, this is my favorite. So forward, back would be that. So have to get a bit more creative when it's like an appendage that's inflamed. The left to right would be just left to right. And the circles are a little bit harder, but it kind of looks like that. And then the ankle, you start with your regular old calf stretch. Left to right, if I use my hips as a driver. And circles. Or you could go forward, back, left to right if you chose to move the ankle, circles. Or you could use the other leg. So forward and back looks a bit like that, still getting calf stretch. Left to right, see how my ankle angle changes? And circles. Right? So that all means that you're not just stretching here, we're mobilizing, truly mobilizing all the angles of the lower limb. Then you go back to the exercise that's hurting the leg, the foot, in this case, hiking, and you'd ask how it feels. And at the very least, if the plantar fascia is shortened, those two mobilizers, above and below, will give it more space to be shortened without pulling on it and aggravating it more. So I hope that has given you a fun strategy to experiment with in the next couple of weeks. If you have any questions, feel free to direct message me and I will attempt to answer them every Monday at 12:30. Over and out. I'll see you next week.